Everybody knows about Final Fantasy. Everybody knows about Persona. Everybody knows about Xenoblade Chronicles. But today, I am not gonna be talking about any of that. Today, I'm gonna be talking about a game that's near and dear to my heart, and that would be the Epic Battle Fantasy series. In particular, I'm gonna be talking about the 5th game, but pretty much everything I say here is gonna apply to the previous games too. So, what is Epic Battle Fantasy V? It's a turn-based JRPG, made by one Scottish dude who had to suffer many sleepless nights, powered by Brew. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get into why I love this game so much. The story, I will admit, is nothing to write home about. It's your standard JRPG stuff. Step 1. Go outside. Step 2. Do some random stuff. Step 3. Fight God. But the characters themselves make the story very engaging and something that you're gonna feel good about all the way through. The story isn't something that you're gonna think about 10 years from now, but the dialogue and the intimate moments the characters share with each other is something that I genuinely appreciate. It's just very cutesy, very fun, and just overall a pleasant experience. It goes without saying, the cast of characters is just nothing short of brilliant. You have your stereotypical meat shield warrior dumbass. You have the hot chick. You have the dumbass kid. You have the one character nobody cares about, Hello Morgana. And you have Elon Musk, I guess? Oh god, can I make that joke? Anyway, every single character has their own skill tree, but don't let that fool you. You have a lot of freedom over your gameplay and how you build your characters. Of course, they all excel at one thing in particular, but that doesn't mean that you cannot do whatever you want with them. Your equipment, you can change it anytime. There are no two same pieces of equipment. All of them offer unique bonuses, and all of them change the way your character looks and plays. Mind you, you can also upgrade them. Now sadly, the upgrade system is very bad. It's just a number go up situation. Come on, did you really think that's the case? Of course not. When you upgrade your equipment, sometimes you're gonna get an additional status effect. Do you remember how in Dark Souls 1 everybody used the grass crest shield because, well, you put it on your back like a backpack and now you have increased stamina regeneration? It's insane. Now imagine if you had 100 pieces of equipment that were like the grass crest shield. All of them offer something new to the gameplay. There is no quote-unquote best build. All of the stuff works. Every single one of them brings something new to the table, and it's gonna function really well depending on the situation you're in. On that note, with the skills, for example, you can also level them up, and sometimes they end up changing completely. It's not just, hey, you're gonna deal more damage. It's gonna be getting a new effect, a new animation, more debuffs, things like that. And by the way, every single character has a predetermined skill tree. But throughout the game, you're gonna acquire different extra skills that you can put on multiple characters. It just feels very good because, again, it adds to the freedom of gameplay. If something isn't working out, that's fine, you can just flee the battle, change your setup, go back and kick some ass. It's really, really good. And speaking of the battle, one thing I really like is that you don't have to kill every single enemy you see. If you want, you can just capture them. I'm begging you, please don't tell Nintendo. By the way, these are not just cosmetic. When you capture a monster, it's not gonna be just a bestiary registry. It's gonna appear in combat, and you can summon them pretty much whenever you want, granted you have enough SP points for it. And before you ask, yes, you can capture bosses too. And yes, I know the question you're about to ask. What if I kill a boss am I gonna be locked out of that summon? And the answer to that is no. At some point in the game, you're gonna be able to refight all of the previous bosses if you want to. And guess what? You can just capture them then. The game has basically zero missable content, and I very much appreciate it. And of course, it wouldn't be a JRPG if there weren't any final abilities too. Yes, you have the limit breaks, and let me just say that they are amazing to use. You know what I really like about limit breaks? It's the fact that you have multiple ones you can choose from, even during battle. In a lot of games, you basically have a bunch of limit breaks, but you can only take one of them with you into battle. And here, that's not the case whatsoever. You want damage? You got it. You want to set up a debuff? You got it. You want to dispel your enemy? You can do that. You want to buff up? That's right, you got that too. There's a lot of options here, and they turn the tide of battle in the right moment. And last but not least, I want to talk about exploration and the overall level design. If everything I said up until now is something to go by, then I think it's pretty obvious. The level design itself is stellar. One thing I really appreciate is that you're always gonna have a reason to go back to previous areas. It's kind of like a Metroidvania in that sense. Let's say a path is blocked off. You get an item later on, you can come back, you can clear it, and you're gonna have new areas to explore, or new secrets to do. Another thing I really enjoy is that there's a lot of hidden walls or hidden corridors you can go through. Does anybody else remember the hidden walls in the old Final Fantasy games? It's something very similar to that, and I just love the way it's been done. Speaking of old Final Fantasy games, yes, there are mimics in this game. But anyway, back to exploration. The areas are just magnificent. You have a lot of variety, and it's always a pleasure to go through basically every single level, honestly. Overall, I think the game is nothing short of a masterpiece. I know that this is a word that's very much overused, but I wholeheartedly believe that this is a game that everybody who enjoys JRPGs or turn-based games should just give it a try. Trust me, it's a very, very good game. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making this, and I really hope that you're gonna have some great days ahead of you. Please take care of yourself, and I will see you again soon. Take care, everybody.
You may rest here too, if you like.